section. This is something that you can do when you feel like you've been go, go, go all day and you need that reset button. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start with our feet, and we're going to start standing, feet spread. So I want you to feel a tripod, meaning a triangle point of connection on your foot. So that means the base of this big toe, the base of the fifth toe, the last toe, the pinky toe, and right underneath the heel. Okay, those 3 points, I want you to sense and feel them touching the ground. I want you to feel them on your left foot, equally touching. I want you to feel them on your right foot, equally touching. And then I want you to equalize the pressure from your right foot to your left foot. So feel them about the same. Then I want you to just bend your knees slightly. And when you bend your knees, you're going to feel your weight kind of go off your heels and a little bit more into the middle of your foot. That's where we want our pressure to be throughout this first exercise. So staying sort of in the middle of that foot, knees bent, I'm going to have you just roll over. Kind of like you're doing a forward fold, but we're keeping those knees bent and the pressure right into the middle of the feet. I want you to go ahead and take an exhale here. Let some of that air out. Nice and easy. When you get to the end of that breath, nice smooth inhale in. Go ahead and take a couple more of those. And if you need to change the position of your feet, if you want them a little wider, go ahead and do that. A couple more breaths here. Staying knees bent, middle of the feet. Feeling that tripod. Gently letting the air out. Once you start paying attention to any tension that you're holding in your head or neck, back of the head, sides of the head, sides of the neck, back of the neck, forehead. Keep your breathing going. Eyes, mouth, jaw. And if your body feels like it wants to wiggle around and do some little movements, just go ahead and let it, okay? You can, if you're watching me, you can see that I'm kind of just exploring these little wiggles, okay? That's totally cool. That is going to help kind of regulate those nerves a little bit more and get some of that kind of unconscious tension out of your system. So now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of bending one knee and then bending the other while I maintain that breathing. So let one knee bend, let it straighten as the other bends. And you can see when I let one knee bend towards my toes, my body gets pulled over to that side. So you can feel as you let that knee bend, your body gets pulled over to that side. You get a little heavier in that foot, maybe a little bit heavier in that hip. And you start to feel this like weight shift. And I want you to just kind of play around with that. Bend one, bend the other. And it's just sort of this flow of as one bends, the other has to straighten. And when I said flow, my body started to flow a little bit. So I want you to let that happen. As you bend one knee, you can kind of like open up that side of your body. So if I'm going to the right, I'm going to kind of open up the right side of my body. If I'm going to the left, kind of opening up the left side. My shoulders are starting to like kind of do like a figure eight. My head is kind of just flowing with that. I'm not trying to keep my head stiff or in any particular position. I'm just kind of letting everything kind of flow in this figure eight pattern back and forth. And your pattern can look totally different. Okay, you can go side to side. You can just let your body, the point is to just let your body do what it kind of wants to do here and maintain that breathing. So you're not just holding tension in your breath. You're making sure that you're letting it all the way out. And then nice and easy back in. Okay, and you can kind of come back to the middle and maybe just kind of let your arms sway back and forth like elephant trunks. Let your head just go. Let it kind of bob around like an elephant trunk. Okay. And you might feel like when you let some tension go in areas that you may
not let your guard down in, that your breath actually gets a little bit clearer. This is kind of what we're going for. Okay. Honestly, you can do that part as long as you want. Okay. That's, you can pause this video and go ahead and just do that as many times as you want. Now, what I want you to do here is in this bent over position, go ahead and your knees are slightly bent. I want you to just walk your hands out a little bit. So you're getting this nice reach. You're letting your hips here really sit back compared to your head. So your head and your knees are still reaching forward, but your hips are reaching back. And you're imagining your bum just kind of like spreading, like it's trying to smooth out any of the wrinkles in your pants. Okay, except those wrinkles aren't really your pants. It's like your skin back there is spreading and unwrinkling. Now, if this is too deep for you, you can find like a chair or a table or something that's a little bit higher, and you can go ahead and sit back like this. So we're not sitting back where the knees come back too and everything's back like this. We're keeping those knees forward in the middle of the feet. We're keeping our head forward and we're reaching the hips back. So there's sort of this pulling front to back here. You're going to take a few breaths in there. Now, if this is too hard on your shoulders, okay, you can kind of come onto some elbows here and you can sit back. So you can just adjust this for you. Okay? Oops, go ahead and come on up. And already, you might start to feel a little bit looser through there, okay? So we're gonna come down to the floor and open up that back a little bit more in a rock back position. So you can grab your ball or you can grab a pillow, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're going to put your ball or your pillow in your hip crease here so that you start to pin the ball or pillow between your thighs and your belly. I'll show you with the ball first. And you're gonna come down onto your elbows like this. We're gonna take a breath in, and then we're gonna exhale, let it all out. Now, a little bit of troubleshooting on this position. If you are one of those people that is a little bit more in an anterior tilt, so your pelvis tends to dump forward a little bit more, you might want to sit all the way back in this exercise. You might want to come all the way back here. Maybe bring those elbows in and take some breaths into the ball. So what you're doing is you're breathing your belly into the ball. And as you breathe your belly into the ball, you're going to feel this kind of like push of pressure and expansion into the back side of your body. So you feel your breath fill the back side of your body, and you get that same feeling of like those wrinkles spreading out in your back as you breathe in, okay? Now, if you're a little bit more of like a tucked under, butt squeezed kind of person, I wouldn't go quite as deep. So what I would do is kind of come here, and I would stop myself maybe where my hips are right above my knees or just a bit past that. And what I'm thinking here is using the ball to kind of like keep my back neutral, but not at the expense of my butt tucking under. So I'm trying to keep my back neutral, but still get that like spreading action that we practiced before out of the glutes here. So I'm in here, and then I'm going to take some breaths in. And let it all the way out. And I'm feeling kind of equal contact in my forearms on both sides and my knees on both sides. And if I can feel my feet on the ground, trying to get my feet to feel equal contact, side to side. So just sensing, are the pressures equal? And that will keep you pretty balanced side to side in this exercise. So you're just letting all the air out. And all the way out, nice and gently. You're not forcing it out, you're just letting it fall out. And then you're going to inhale here. Now, a couple things on the head. The head might want to drop. You can either cue yourself, you can use a pillow to hold your head up if you want, or a yoga block or something like that if you're somebody who struggles to kind of keep your head up there. Sometimes I'll just hold it there, but if that's uncomfortable for you, you can use a prop. Okay. So this, again, just getting that good expansion through the back. And then if you're somebody who really needs that extra opening in the booty, you can do that. Okay. Whew, we're going to come out of that. All right. I'm going to flip onto your back. And we're just going to go into some like rotations of the thoracic rib cage. Now I'm probably going to hit a wall here, so I'm going to move over a bit. Okay. And what I want you to do is just, first of all, just settle into the ground a little bit. Okay. And maybe we'll just work the shoulders while we're here for a second. So arms up ahead. And what I want you to do is to just open up one arm off to the side and pull it back in. And when you open that arm off to the side, I want you to picture the space between your chest and your arm bone here is going to increase as you let that arm go off to the side. See how this space here got wider? And then I'm going to keep it pretty wide as long as I can as that arm comes back in. Versus if I don't keep this space, this is what happens when I reach my arm off to the side. Okay? So we want to get the chest nice and open. So we're going to increase that space. Okay? So no weights. We're just trying to open up that space. Open up, open up, open up. Inhale here. Might feel this really nice pull through the front of your chest. And then bring it back in. Open up. And I want you to like pay attention to the way the rest of your body feels on the floor. So when your arm comes off to the side, do you feel like you kind of lose contact with or lessen contact on the floor with any part of your body? I want you to keep that contact pretty equal, meaning the pressure on either side of your bra line here is equal. Either side of your hips on the butt that's touching the floor should be equal. Any part that's touching, we're going to try to keep it equal side to side throughout this exercise. Okay, so we're going to open and close. The other arm is reaching. Okay, reaching like this. Okay, so that shoulder blade is reaching, and you're just kind of holding that there. Okay. Not reaching enough where you feel your head push into the ground or you're trying too hard, but just that shoulder blade's just reaching off the ground a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides. So now the opposite side is going to reach, and then I'm going to hit my wall, but you get the idea. We're going to come off to the side. So actually, I'll show you from this view. Okay, reaching both sides, whoop, and then nice open space on that right side. Open, 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 open. Okay. Breathe in as you open. 2 more. Exhale as you close. Equal pressure on your back. Okay, so we're just opening up the chest in that one. And then we're going to work on rotation. So now we're going to reach both arms up to the ceiling again. And this time I'll show you at a little bit of an angle. We're going to take your right arm, reach it in front of your left arm. And I want you to reach, 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 reach. And you're going to feel your right shoulder blade start to come up off the floor. Take a breath there. Reach, go a little bit further. Take a breath there. Reach, go a little bit further. And you can see I adjusted my head. I want to keep looking forward while I do this. And go a little bit further. Okay, and then we're going to bring it back down. I'll show you from this angle. Okay. Reach both sides. Left arm's going to cross. Get that shoulder blade to come up and off and up and off. Take a breath in. This hand's reaching towards the ceiling the whole time. Reach, reach, reach. And what you're thinking is that shoulder blade's coming off the ground and it's kind of rotating your rib cage around your spine. So if your spine's running this way, your rib cage is going to be rotating around that spine.
if you want to take this hand and kind of feel your rib cage on the side, you could facilitate it a little bit. You could be like, okay, come on, rib cage, get on over there. Let's feel what that feels like. We're going to try to get that over there. Take a breath in. Okay, now in terms of, you're going to feel that left side lift off in the rib cage. Down at the pelvis, I want those contact points staying pretty equal. Okay, so we don't want to go so far that we start to lift up off the pelvis. Okay, and again, you can spend as much time here as you want. Usually I'll do, 3 breaths on one side, 3 breaths on the other, and then I'll switch back over. I would do another round on each side. And again, watch that head. Nothing's pushing. Head is staying light on the ground, but just centered. Hips are staying centered, but light. Okay? All right. What do we got next? Sorry, I need my cheat sheet. Okay. Next, we're going to just give a gentle stretch for the psoas. Okay, if you have a foam roller, go ahead and use that. If you don't, you can roll up a pillow and stick it underneath your hips or use your ball. Okay, but since I have a foam roller here, I am going to, easiest way to get on this thing is to just get yourself on the ground. Okay, and then put this underneath your knees. Okay, lift your hips like you're going into a bridge. You're going to stick this right underneath your sacrum, okay? Your sacrum is right here, okay, at this part, okay? So you're going to go ahead and put that underneath your sacrum. And what I want you to do is just bring one knee in just above your hip here. You're going to allow your other leg, oh my gosh, to just stretch out, okay? And here I want you to stay nice and long through this leg. And what you're going to want to feel is if the left side's out, your left heel is sort of reaching towards the floor. We're not trying to dig it in or pull or anything. We're just let's just reach towards the floor. Like there's sort of like a magnet or suction that we're trying to get with the heel to the floor. And as we're reaching that heel to the floor, we're also thinking of reaching long through the leg. I got an itch. Long through the leg and long through our head. And we're going to take those breaths in. Now, if I didn't have this chair here behind me, I might take my left arm, I can do it, and reach my left arm long too. So now I got this nice length on this whole left side of my body. And when I'm breathing in, kind of letting the breath go all the way down as far as deep towards the pelvis as it can go. And the more air you let out and the more reach you get, and then you go ahead and take that nice calm inhale. Keep the reach as you inhale. Keep the reach as you exhale. And as you stay here, over time, spend as much time on these as you want. Honestly, I'm going through them. I wanted to give you lots of options, but you can pause this and literally spend 5 minutes just on this if it feels good. Okay, I do that all the time. Okay, switch legs. Other one's going to come out. Same deal. Nice and long. Option to bring the arm overhead if your shoulder can tolerate that. Heel is trying to find the ground. Inhale into that side. Oh yeah, and you might feel this, oh gosh, my butt just got heavier into the foam roller. My heel just got heavier. I just felt like I let something go that I was holding on to. Just let those things happen. You can even hear it in my voice, right? Like my voice is changing a little bit as I'm letting that psoas go on that right side. Whew. Okay, so again, this is something I might spend more time on.
but I want to take you guys through a couple more here. So hold the sides of your foam roller and bring your knees in. Obviously, if your body doesn't tolerate something this high, this is something you can just do flat on the ground. You don't even need to have your butt up on something, or like I said, find a pillow or something that's a little bit lower, even just like a book or maybe I don't know, you can find something, and that would do the same thing but not be quite as dramatic. Okay, so I like to, after that, just kind of like let my back sink down towards the ground. I'm kind of picturing my back kind of just hammocking towards the ground. Maybe I take a couple breaths there. Okay, I'm gonna let my hips kind of roll side to side here. Hold the sides of that foam roller. Okay, just to kind of come out of that position, right? To get out of this, feet down, bridge up, boop, bring that foam roller back off to the side. Okay, from here, just a quick exercise, like strengthening of those psoas muscles. So now with the legs out straight, I'm going to have you feel that left heel again. Feel the left side of your butt kind of grounding to the ground. Feel the left side of your rib cage. And we're just going to do a couple leg lifts here, up and down, keeping that left side real grounded and thinking of being nice and long from our head to our feet. Okay, you can also go side to side if you want to. It's a little bit harder to keep that left side grounded while you do that. Okay, switch sides. Feel the right side ground down, heel, hip, back of the hip, back of the rib cage on the right. Okay, leg lifts on the left. Just trying to energize and keep yourself grounded on that right side. And you might feel one side feels, harder than the other. Okay, or easier than the other, I should say. Okay, up and down, and then we're gonna go side, to side, trying to stay grounded on that right side. Now be careful not to push too much from this arm. It is there to support you, but we want the grounding to happen through that right leg. Okay, great. I'm gonna come up. All right, I'm gonna put one foot in front here, kneeling. If you need a pillow to kneel on, go ahead and do that. You can also do this standing. I'll show you in a second if your knees can't tolerate this, but we're gonna be up here, two arms reaching. Nice length on either side of the body. We're just gonna let those hips go side to side, side to side. So this is not just arms, okay? And my hips are kind of following suit. It's more like my belt or my tie there. Everything's going to the left. Everything's going to the right. And I'm keeping myself nice and tall and lifted so I feel the energy happening out of my feet and my knee on the back side. My legs are helping me maintain that length. Okay, switch sides. I'll show you this side standing. Okay, here, side to side. If that's too hard from a balance standpoint, you can just do feet side by side, maybe a little bit in more. Nice tall reach, side to side. Okay, because we're going to get back to standing anyway for this last bit. Nice and tall, so not getting squished in here long the whole time. So my whole right side's reaching, my whole left side's reaching, and I'm maintaining that nice, easy breath. Okay? We're going to go back into the very first exercise we did, which was the bent knees, feeling the feet. Okay? Let's check in at the very beginning, right? Remember that tripod of that foot contact, big toe, little toe, heel? Feel that on both sides. Okay? Feel those knees bend in. Round down. Keep that pressure in the middle of your feet. Exhale. And just take general note of how that feels now compared to how it felt at the beginning. Okay? And I love this one. It's probably my favorite one of the whole series. So I hope you enjoy it too.